Indian caste system and Varna. Indian society was divided into four social classes, Varnas, based on Dharma Shastra texts. They are Brahmin, white, Kshatriya, red, Vaishya, yellow, and Sudra, blue or black. It is said that anyone who does not belong to these four Varnas is an outcast. Dalits, also known as Harijans, a section of people not covered by the existing four Varnas, are considered outcasts. Outcasts are treated as untouchables in India. Varna means color. How does color differentiate humans? There are three colors for people, namely fair, brown, and dark or black. How does white fit Brahmins only, yellow fit Vaishyas only, and so on? How can four colors cover all groups of people? Hence, Varna means something other than caste. As per Vedic texts and as per general understanding, Brahmins came from the mouth to serve the intellectual and spiritual needs of the community. Kshatriyas, warriors and rulers, were created from arms, needed to rule and protect others. Vaishyas, landowners and merchants, sprang from the thighs, needed to trade and to take care of agriculture. Sudras, artisans and servants, were from the feet, to do all manual work. Megasthenes, an ancient Greek who was an ambassador of Chandragupta Maurya's court, attempted to classify the people of India into 7 classes: philosophers, peasants, herdsmen, craftsmen and traders, soldiers, government officials, and councillors, as against the Varna system. It was not successful for obvious reasons. Varna is referred to as caste in English. The Indian caste system was exposed during Portuguese occupation of some parts of India. Presently, there exist several thousand castes, subcastes, and caste-like groups in India. Some castes are based on profession and occupation. Independent India officially documented castes and subcastes primarily to determine who deserved reservation. The list consists of scheduled castes, SC consisting of untouchables, scheduled tribes, ST consisting of village tribes, and other backward castes, OBC. The reservation policies and the economic freebies have also accelerated further creation of castes and casteism. It is believed that the Indian caste system began with the arrival of Aryans in India, but I categorically dispute that there was an Aryan race or Aryan invasion in ancient history. The caste system in India was established from misunderstanding the word Varna in Vedic texts. Before and during the Indus Valley civilization, there were different groups of people who were natives of different regions. Most important of these were Egyptians, Romans, Greeks, Latinas, ancient Indians, including Dravidians, and other tribes. They all grew up together during the Indus Valley civilization and were learned, cultured, and belonged to a sophisticated society. All ancient Indians would have compiled Vedas, knowledge and not religion, and passed them down orally over generations. Somewhere down the line, these Vedas were interpreted wrongly as religious texts, and this changed the course of human life in India. The creation of Nataraj during 10th and 11th century AD, Chola's golden age, and linking it to Shiva may be the first step in this religious saga. The subsequent migration, invasion, occupation by outsiders would have been one of many causes for such misinterpretation. The present Indian generation is nowhere near ancient Indus Valley civilization's cultural sophistication and knowledge. The Indus Valley civilization was a gateway for ancient India to the outside world. It was the place from which all commercial and other activities were carried out. It was where Indians from the interior met and mingled with people of other cultures, especially Mesopotamian and Egyptian. It is understandable that the Indus Valley Civilization Indians were cosmopolitan and different from interior Indians because of their exposure to other cultures, etc. When they were ultimately forced to relocate to interior India, they looked different and behaved differently from interior Indians. Those people were elite and they were called Aryans. Their coming back or traveling into interior India should not be construed as an invasion of Aryans. Communities that sprang or existed during the later period, perhaps 8 to 10 AD, would have organized themselves into four groups according to their understanding of Vedic texts, by which time it is believed the existence of the Indus Valley civilization had been forgotten. Southern Indians, called Dravidians, who are part and parcel of Indus Valley civilization, were darker skinned people, integrated under Sudra Varna, and were made outcast depending on the professions of their communities. Communities who pursued non-polluting jobs were integrated under Sudra Varna. Communities who pursued polluting professions were made outcasts or untouchables. Untouchability would have stemmed from uncleanliness of the people because of their professions and applied to the entire group or community. Ultimately, untouchables were considered unfit for physical or social contact with the so-called non-polluted, pure sections of society. Untouchables suffered extreme social restrictions. They were not allowed to enter temples, shrines, or any religious areas. They were not allowed to use water from the same sources. No person of a higher caste would interact with them. Many great personalities like Sri Adi Shankaracharya, 8th century, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, 15th century, Sri Kanakadasa, Sri Annam Acharya, and Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa denounced caste and casteism. They also did not recognize the reasons for caste distinctions. Today's liberals also criticize the caste system and recognize it as a form of racial discrimination and apartheid. Despite these powerful messages, the caste system exists because its root was not properly exposed and proved false. Today, many Indian states are dominated by caste-based politics. Many Indians have converted to other religions such as Christianity and Islam to escape the onslaught of the caste system. Yet, they retain their caste identity, perhaps due to the economic benefits that it carries, and to retain ties with their community for social reasons. People who advocate the Varna system of four classes always refer to a chapter of the Rig Veda 10.90, Purusa, or Manusmriti or Dharma Shastra to support their claim. Manusmriti or Dharma Shastra texts have not been properly understood and interpreted. Sir William Jones, who translated the text during 1794, wrongly understood and mistakenly exaggerated both its antiquity and its importance. Dharma Shastra is said to be a group of Hindu treatises and no specific documents are attached to it. Yet, everyone refers to the Dharma Shastra. Dharma, in the name of Yamadharma, a Vedic character. Dharma is also an important character in the Mahabharata, which is considered a part of Vedic texts. Yama is a personification of the human heart, blood, and its related functions. Thus, Dharma Shastras must refer to and relate to the human heart and its constituents. It does not refer to Sunray Hindu scripture. One of the main contents of the human heart is blood. There are two kinds of blood, oxygenated and carrying carbon dioxide. The main function of the human heart is to purify deoxygenated blood or clean, sudh, the blood and supply pure blood to all parts of the human body. Some also interpret Manu as the legendary king who has written the code for Indian society. Manu, Anu, as in Paramanu, means a cell or atom. There exists no Manu. Manu Smriti refers to human blood cells. Let us examine another word, Manu Smritiyu, which means human blood. The difference in meaning and relativity are very wide, and it is wrong to construe that they are of different origin. Mrityu is another name for Dharma. Hence, he is also related to blood. Thus, Dharma and Mrityu cannot be equated to righteous king. If righteousness comes from purity, then the blood must be pure or clean, free from toxins to be healthier. When they divided Purusa, how many portions did they make? What do they call his mouth, his arms? What do they call his thighs and feet? The Brahman was his mouth. Of both his arms was the Rajanya made. His thighs became Vaisya. From his feet, the Sudra was produced. Some scholars have felt that Varna means classes or kinds only and not colors as generally meant. They also said that Varna wrongly acquired the meaning of color. Sanskrit is not a language which is short of words to express the meaning of color and classes separately. Varna in Tamil also means color, but not classes. Manusmriti must be Manusmrityu, meaning the color of blood cells. The human body is composed of many cells, Anu or Manu, that need a constant supply of nutrients to survive. All cells produce waste matter which must be removed periodically. Every cell gets nutrients, oxygen, glucose through blood, brought by blood vessels pumped by the heart, Dharma or Yamadharma. Blood also carries away waste, such as carbon dioxide and lactic acid. Blood is personified as Shiva. Sivapu means red in Tamil. Blood is a circulating tissue composed of fluid plasma, red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets. Red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets together are called corpuscles or simply cells. All blood cells are produced in the bone marrow. Blood plasma, a fluid, an aqueous solution containing 96% water, 4% blood plasma proteins, in blood's liquid medium, appearing yellow in color. Red blood cells are called erythrocytes. They contain blood's hemoglobin and distributive oxygen to tissues. Red blood cells live for around 120 days and are constantly being replaced by new cells. White blood cells, leukocytes, are also a component of blood. They are produced in the bone marrow and help to defend the human body against infectious disease and foreign materials as part of the immune system. There are many different types of white blood cells. Lymphocytes are one such cell. The blood has three types of lymphocytes: B cells, T cells, and natural killer cells. B cells make antibodies that bind to pathogens to enable their destruction. T cells coordinate the immune response. They are what becomes defective in a HIV infection. T cells and natural killer cells can kill cells of body that are infected by a virus. T cells are crucial for immune response because they possess a unique memory system which allows them to remember past invaders and prevent diseases by deploying the correct antibody when a similar invader is encountered again. Platelets are called thrombocytes and are responsible for blood clotting. Like red blood cells, platelets are nucleared and discoid. The human body has a very limited reserve of platelets, so they can be rapidly depleted. Platelets are also produced in the bone marrow. Arteries carry oxygenated blood away from the heart and deliver it to the body via arterioles and capillaries. The oxygen is consumed by tissues and toxins are absorbed from tissues. Afterwards, veins carry deoxygenated blood back to the heart. In the human body, oxygenated blood is bright red in color. Deoxygenated blood is a darker shade of red. However, due to an optical effect caused by the way in which light penetrates skin, the veins typically appear blue in color. This has led to a common misconception that venous blood is blue. Simple translation of Rig Veda hymn 10.90 is as follows. What comes out of, products of, his face or mouth? What comes out of, products of, his two arms? What comes out of, products of, his two thighs? What comes out of, products of, the 2 feet? The answers as available at present are Brahmins, white, came from the mouth or face. Kshatriyas, red, came from the arms. Vaishyas, yellow, came from thighs. Sudras, blue or black, came from the feet. Are these answers correct or not? Let us investigate the immune system of the human body called the lymphatic system. Many parts of the human body play a role in this system, such as lymphoid organs, lymph nodes, lymph ducts, lymph tissues, capillaries, vessels, etc. These networks produce and transport lymph fluid from tissues to the circulatory system. One of the main functions of the system is the production of immune cells like lymphocytes, monocytes, and plasma cells, which produce antibodies. The lymphatic system, as a circulatory system, collaborates with white blood cells in lymph nodes to protect the body from infection. When a foreign material invades the human body, it is transported from tissue to lymph. The lymph is carried through lymph vessels into regional lymph nodes. The lymph nodes filter the lymph fluid and remove the foreign material. Lymph nodes are classified into 3 categories. 1. Lymph nodes of the human head and neck, throat, pharynx, tonsils, and thyroid gland. 2. Lymph nodes of the arm, armpits. 3. Inguinal lymph nodes, lower limbs, groin area. Let us read the Vedic text again. When they divided Purusha, how many portions did they make? What do they call his mouth, his arms? What do they call his thighs and feet? Mouth refers to the head and neck of the human body. Arms refers to the arms or armpit. Thighs refer to the groin area or the lower limbs. What about feet? Let us go a little further to find the answer. The supporters of Varna and the Aryan theory say that Aryans organize themselves into 3 groups: Brahmin, white blood cells; Kshatriya, red blood cells; Vaisya, plasma or platelets. And of course, the head and neck, arms and thighs are grouped together. The feet are left alone. Dravidians, southerners of India, were designated as the 4th group, Sudra from the feet. In the human body, at times, something happens to obstruct the lymphatic vessels. The result is a thickening of the skin and enlargement of underlying tissues, especially in the legs and genitals. It is called elephantiasis. Now we see how uncleanly feet came to be called Sutra or Sudra. As per the Merriam-Webster dictionary, the root of elephantiasis is from the Latin word elephantus and from the Greek word elephas, which means enormous growth, enlargement, or overdevelopment. The animal elephant also got its name because of its enormous growth. By coincidence, the grouping is true to some extent because all 3 blood cells, red blood cell, white blood cell, and platelets, are produced by the bone marrow. Then what is blue or black? It is deoxygenated blood or blood with carbon dioxide, which is said to be not pure, unclean. Brahmins are white blood cells. Kshatriyas are red blood cells. Vaishyas are plasma, which is yellow in color. And Sudras are deoxygenated blood, which is blue or black when seen through the skin. There is no Varna or four classes of society in Vedic texts since the texts don't relate to society but to the human body and health. Varna does appear in Vedic texts as construed by religious modernists or rationalists, since neither of them are not aware of the real content of Vedic texts. Why and how did they bring in Dravidians as fourth group? Vedic texts use the word Dakshin to refer the south. The people living in the south of India were called Dravidians, and many reasons were given for that. In human body, the head is considered northern and accordingly compared to the Himalayas, as the Himalayas lie in the northernmost part of India. The hips and legs are considered the southern side of the human body. Accordingly, translators of the Vedic texts compared Dravidians, southerners, to Sudra or Sutra of leg. The reasons why southerners are considered Dravidians are mentioned in the chapter Siddhas. Sutra also means formulae, as in mathematics. It also means poetic lines. Sudh or Sudh means cleanliness. What we are witnessing now in India are the results of misinterpretation, and we have a long way to go to undo the effects that have been created.